The Luka Doncic trade is obviously not a real trade. No GM who is acting in their franchise's best interest is going to make this deal. And yet, here we are. Shams posted it. It was literally unbelievable. People thought that Shams had been hacked. And it wasn't until that this was confirmed by multiple media outlets that people started to accept that the trade actually happened. And now we have the media trying to explain and justify how this is in fact real when it was literally unbelievable at the time it was announced. So here we have an article, Unfathomable, how the stunning Luka Doncic Anthony Davis trade came together. And I haven't read this article because I already know how this came together. We don't need the justifications. We don't need the Luka culture angle. We don't need the Luka fat angle. Whatever it is that the money, all of these are explanations to explain why that Luka Doncic would ever be traded for what the Mavericks received in return. Here's the reason why. We're going to tab now to a Reddit post from 4 years ago. And this is in the Lakers subreddit. The title is New Dallas GM Nico Harrison and Rob Pelinka are good friends. Wouldn't be surprised to see Lakers and Mavs make a deal in the future. Here's a photo of them talking alongside Rich Paul and Kobe. Well, Rich Paul also in the mix on the Lakers side. It's hard to know when Rich Paul and LeBron James end and Rob Pelinka begins. But here we have Rob Pelinka and Nico Harrison standing right beside each other. And then we have the top comment, which is now deleted, but it's the most upvoted. Luka for a bag of potato chips confirmed. That was posted 4 years ago. And now look what has happened. And now all of the excuses are in, right? Everything has happened. And what I was thinking about today is I was like, well, how you have to start asking yourself, what about these coincidences, right? Like, why is it that the Chiefs keep winning these one-score games? How is that possible? If we randomize this, how is it that it's the Chiefs that keep winning these games? How is it that they seemingly get all of the close calls, right? And when we look at the Lakers, it's like, how did they manage to crawl out of where they were headed, which is obscurity, into now where they have a bright future once again, right? It's just the amazing Lakers, and we're supposed to believe that they just somehow managed to figure it out, and now they're back on the right path. And so we'll go ahead and tab over to Magic Johnson's Twitter account, and then we have here his tweet from right after the deal happened. I've been associated with the NBA for 45 years, and this Luka and AD trade is the biggest trade I've seen between two superstars essentially in their prime. No, they are not essentially in their prime. AD is outside of his prime, on the way down, right? He's somewhat near the top, but he's on the decline. But this is how things start to get smoothed over, as we have these just we have the melding of words, right? And here we can see that essentially is the key word, in their prime. Obviously, AD is not in their prime, and Luka is just entering his prime. Completely different, and Luka's obviously a way better player. With Luka, the Lakers are getting a 25-year-old superstar. This is a great long-term move for the Lakers franchise. And then it continues after LeBron retires. So here we have this. We're going along with the story. Here's the story that the Lakers just made another incredible move. The front office has done it again. They basically got something for nothing. That's what it is when you trade $1 for what's about 35 cents. But here we have Magic Johnson painting the story, right? We're going along with the story that the Lakers front office just made this amazing move. We have another tweet. Luka Doncic will definitely make the Lakers a championship contending team. He'll take the pressure off LeBron because of his scoring ability and playmaking, and will make every Laker better. LeBron James will be a positive influence on Luka, teaching him his championship mentality. It's actually hard reading some of this because this is so obviously a fake trade, and it's just being paraded out there for everyone to accept. But we're in a different era. So when you try these types of grifts, it's out in the open. And this was an especially brazen one. If you wanted to make it less obvious, you could have added the 2031 pick. You could have added some pick swaps. You could have added Austin Reeves or whatever the case is. But this one is blatant. It's brazen. It's right in your face. Then we have the thinking of Anthony Davis. Also, one other note here: why did Anthony Davis waive his trade escalator? Anthony Davis was supposed to receive more money in the trade, and he just waived that right away. Here's another tweet. You know I love assists, and with LeBron and Luka teaming up, I get to watch two of the best players that have ever played on the same team. I can hardly wait to see Luka in a Lakers jersey. Laker Nation, get ready. Luka Doncic going to the Lakers is amazing for the NBA, just like uh, I can't pronounce his first. I don't remember his first name. Something Otani was when we signed him to the Dodgers. I want to congratulate Lakers owner Jeannie Buss and GM Rob Pelinka for bringing Luka Doncic to LA to play for our beloved Lakers. Well, you could add in Nico Harrison in there as well, because this doesn't happen without Nico Harrison. And who knows how this actually came to be. But congratulating Rob Pelinka, yeah, like you accepted a trade that anybody in the world would have taken. So there's Magic Johnson, and then we have Charles Barkley. And I thought Charles Barkley, he will inject some reality into NBA discussions, but here he goes right along with it, and we have more ushering in of this, the acceptance of this trade to make it seem like it's legitimate. So let's play a clip.
This is the first time I can remember where you got two all NBA players traded for each other. I mean, obviously, I don't remember every trade, but I'm trying.
Okay, so they have this. We have this false equivalency. We saw this from Magic Johnson. Two guys essentially in their prime. What do you say? Two All NBA players, whatever it was. Let's actually go look. What were the words that Magic Johnson used? Let's see. We have two superstars essentially in their prime, and then we have Charles Barkley saying about the same thing. This is not the case at all. These are not the same player. These are two entirely different players, but we have this smoothing over to where we have a false equivalency, making it seem that there was a one-to-one with Luka and Anthony Davis, which is obviously not the case, but we're listening to the justification. So let's continue on.
So that's probably, and the second thing is, normally when stars get traded, you hear a lot of rumblings, and you just put them up for the highest bidder. So I think those are the two first aspects of this trade that are shocking. Star for star, and normally like they didn't go for the highest bidder. They went for a quick deal and it was over.
Would you have taken a different approach there? Would you have gone to other teams to at least see what's out there? And then if Anthony Davis is the best deal, the best player you can get, that package was the best, you go with it. But at least go see what's out there.
Well, in fairness, they got a hell of a player. Anthony Davis.
There it goes. There we have it. We saw Charles Barkley presented right there. Hey, is it not strange that the Mavericks didn't try to get anything better than the Lakers' pitiful offer? And Charles Barkley routes this right back to propping up Anthony Davis and making Anthony Davis seem like he's more than he is relative to Luka. So this is what I'm talking about. This is the ushering in. Here we have the story. You're now supposed to accept that this is legitimate, and this is how the Lakers turn things around. And so this is why it's the Lakers too big to fail, because the Lakers are being propped up here. And I'm not going to go over past Lakers transactions, but this is the Lakers were headed towards obscurity, right? They were going to be one of the franchises that we see in the NBA, like the Pacers, like the Sacramento Kings, other franchises who, if they don't build up, they immediately fall back down, and it's hard for them to come back on the rise. But the Lakers just received something for nothing. They traded out Anthony Davis, and now all of a sudden they have Luka Doncic and a bright future, and everything is sunny skies from here on out. So we have the justifications. And one note here, though, to the Lakers' credit so far, they were doing better than I thought they were. So the Lakers are actually the fifth seed in the West, and they're nearly at 60%, a 60% winning percentage before Luka Doncic. So they were going to have a decent season. Now, nobody expected them to go deep into the playoffs, but they were still having a decent season. And I think in part this is due to JJ Redick, but they had, and I say in part due to, obviously JJ Redick plays a part in this, but they were having a good season, but they weren't like, it wasn't going to go up from here, right? This was them peaking at 60%. This is about as good as you can expect from them. And they had an 8-2 record in their last 10 games. So they were playing good, but LeBron is obviously faltering. LeBron, even after his hiatus, whatever transpired there, he's come back. He's better, but he's obviously older. Defense is limited. The bursts of energy are limited. And then Anthony Davis is probably going to get injured any day. In fact, I think he's currently got a minor injury. But it wasn't going to get better for the Lakers from here. For most franchises, that means that they slowly decline or maybe even quickly decline. But for the Lakers, they've somehow now got Luka Doncic out of nowhere, right? And we're led to believe that this trade happened organically and naturally. And just because Nico Harrison just had to have Anthony Davis, and there are ties to Anthony Davis, both for him and Jason Kidd, and they needed this for defense, and they want to make a defense first team. So that's the explanation that we're given. But you can't, there's no way that this happens. There's no way that anybody who understands the NBA, it's no way, right? It's to even entertain the idea that this trade is legitimate is entertaining that there be an NBA GM who is in place as a general manager who legitimately wants to make this trade for the benefit of their franchise. And last, we'll just end this here with a few trades, right? A few recent trades to just go over the market for players. We have Mikal Bridges here, and you could tell the Knicks were not gifted Mikal Bridges. So we have this trade, and the Mikal Bridges trade, which is, by the way, this article is dated June 25th, 2024. So about 7 months ago. We have New York agreed in principle to acquire Mikal Bridges from Brooklyn for Bojan Bogdanovic, five first-round draft picks, a first-round pick swap, and a second-round selection. Brooklyn will receive unprotected New York picks in 2025, 2027, 2029, and 2031, along with an unprotected pick swap with New York in 2028. Now ask yourself, why Luka Doncic being a far superior trade asset than Mikal Bridges, why did the Mavericks accept what they did? You couldn't, the entire Lakers team and all of their tradable assets wouldn't have been enough to acquire Luka Doncic in this market. But again, there wasn't even the shred of believability because they didn't attempt to add in the 2031 pick. Why wouldn't that be insisted upon? And then so let's look here at a few years ago, we had the Rudy Gobert trade. So let's go ahead and scroll down and see what the Jazz received. Patrick Beverley, Leandro Balmero, Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt, Walker Kessler, 2023 first-round pick, a 2025 first-round pick, a 2026 first-round pick swap, a 2027 first-round pick, and a 2029 first-round pick, top 5 protected. This is all for Rudy Gobert. And Rudy Gobert is not in the same universe as Luka Doncic. And then let's just go ahead and look at Kevin Durant. And so obviously this is Kevin Durant being acquired in the later stages of his career. So this trade occurred on February 9th, and this was the trade from the Brooklyn Nets to the Phoenix Suns. And we had Kevin Durant being traded for Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, and 4 future unprotected first-round picks. And now look at the Luka Doncic trade. It doesn't make any sense. And there's a reason why it doesn't make any sense.